Good evening and a warm welcome to Match of the Day, back once again on Saturday night. And as you know, the new Canon League season started this afternoon and provided us with two magnificent First Division matches. Later you'll see front-runners for honours Manchester United against promoted champions of the Second Division, Queen's Park Rangers. Your commentator at that match is Alan Parry.
Well, don't try telling anyone here that football's come back too soon. It's a fine day. There's a crowd of around 50,000 with real optimism for the season ahead. What better place could there be on the opening day?
Well, if there is, Alan, it might be Villa Park, the venue for our opening game, for the first round of what is bound to be a close contest for supremacy in the Midlands. This week it's between Aston Villa and West Bromwich Albion. And reading that game for us is John Motson.
Well, it's not just about local pride here, Jimmy, because the fans in the West Midlands believe they have a chance in the championship race as well.
And why shouldn't they? The action on its way after the news headlines from Bob.
Well, our two games provide some of the best headlines, but the pick of the rest, Charlie Nicholas starts with a win bonus at Arsenal. Chelsea's Kerry Dixon kicks off his new career with 2 goals. Champions Liverpool are hit by the quickest goal of the afternoon. First Division no-hopers Coventry win at Watford. And Sheffield United's Keith Edwards is the day's top scorer with 4.
Top of our bill is Aston Villa versus West Bromwich Albion. Nearly 30,000 people watched the game, paying £69,000, and what marvellous value for money it turned out to be. At Villa Park, John Motson.
A change of colours for Ken McNaught, who plays for West Brom against his old club Aston Villa just 4 days after his transfer. And it's also a debut for Villa's Steve McMahon, who was signed from Everton in the summer and who was 22 years old last Saturday. His presence is particularly welcome because Gordon Cowans has broken his leg. Villa are also without Des Bremner and Tony Morley through injury. McNaught's replacement is Brendan Ormsby, who didn't appear in Villa's league side at all last season, and he partners the new team captain, Alan Evans. West Brom are minus Derek Statham and Ali Robertson, both suspended, and without Brendan Batson and Steve McKenzie, who still lack match practice after recovering from long injuries. They're also taking a risk on Martin Bennett, who hasn't played a full match since March. And the manager, Ron Wiley, is already unhappy about the Football League computer, which determines the fixtures. He says, why should we start with what amounts to a cup final? Further confirmation from the FA this week that they want the FIFA guideline applied and players should not go off for deliberate handball or for deliberately holding back an opponent. But when it comes to the cynical kick or trip, that is still largely down to the referee's interpretation of what constitutes serious foul play. So it's sunshine and shirt sleeves here. Aston Villa playing from left to right, both teams in a brand new strip. And a word of commendation to the Villa ground staff, who've got this pitch looking back towards its best after some damage done here during a pop concert when some 9,000 people were jumping up and down on the ground to the strains of Duran Duran. Whitehead with the throw for Albion. He's the captain today. In the absence of Robertson, number 3, Whitehead. Hooks for cross, McMahon forward for With. And McNaught and With, who are old friends, will be seeing quite a lot of each other in the next 90 minutes. Harry Thompson. Here's Whitehead. In by Owen, and half away by Mortimer. Shaw, McMahon. Walters. And Zondervan it was who made the tackle. The referee felt it was fair. And Villa indeed retained possession in the end. A good run by Gibson here, who was the player initially robbed. But a poor pass by McMahon gives Albion the chance to break with Nicky Cross. Tackle was by Williams. foul by Evans on Regis. And again, McNaught was making his presence felt. This is Regis. Martin Joel. Oh, and Cross was in there, and so too was Zondervan. Romeo Zondervan, the goal scorer, and Albion take the lead after 5 minutes. It was well taken too. McNaught initially competing for the free kick, then Regis out on the right, Joel getting involved, and his fellow Dutchman Zondervan finishing with a fine shot. So Aston Villa, who've lost at home on the opening day of the season for the last 2 years, go a goal behind here. And it's the first time Zondervan scored since New Year's Day. Here's Gary Owen. Well, he only scored 2 in the whole of last season, Romeo Zondervan, but what a good way to start. Shaw hustled off the ball, and Regis with Zondervan going to his right. Albion would appear to have started with a little bit more determination than Aston Villa. Arms round the neck, Bennett on with. And Albion have pulled everybody back to defend. Mortimer to Gibson. Oh, and Alan Evans was there. The new Villa captain equalises with a good header. So, Villa reply from a free kick, having gone behind that way. And interesting the way the other Villa forwards and players took the Albion defenders away, leaving Evans with a clear header, which he buried very nicely after 17 minutes. He was saying to me just before the kick-off how proud he is to have been made captain, the reason being that Mortimer has been unsettled and may have left Villa Park, but for injuries. Zondervan for the Albion, but his goal has now been cancelled out. Gibson seeing an awful lot of the ball on that side. Here's Walters, who should benefit. Gibson again. Tackling back was by Regis. So, 2 goals so far from free kicks. Here's Walters. And it's With's flick, and Gary Shaw was very nearly in there. Webb. Joel. Punted forward for Cross. And here's Owen. He's waiting for Whitehead to come down the left wing. And pull back for Owen to fire when it hit Cross, his own player. And Shaw's touch puts Kirbyshly in possession. Outside him is Walters. And there are 3 the other way now for Villa. And away by Bennett. Here's Mortimer. Walters, and again Gibson forward. Oh, and Gary Shaw was in there. That just dropped over the head of Peter With, and Shaw was lurking, and Albion will have to start asking themselves what's happening to the marking back in that penalty area. They can't surely permit free headers, especially after what happened on the Villa goal. And that incident came halfway through the first half. Kerbishley. Webb. There's With. Walters. Still Walters. With. And he will know, Peter With, better than anybody, that by his standards, that's a bad miss. What a good run by this lad, Mark Walters. Playing largely because Tony Morley is injured, but with a great future. We saw some glimpses of him last season. And he got round his man there and played a very good ball in, which normally you would have backed Peter With to put firmly in the back of the net. Williams. Forward by Evans. And Shaw shakes off McNaught and finds Walters, who turned well. Oh, it's gone straight through Barron. Well, Paul Barron will be most disappointed with that goal. The Villa fans are pleased enough. Gary Shaw shook off Ken McNaught. Walters had Webb with him, and the ball straight through the goalkeeper to give Villa a 2-1 lead after 36 minutes. So Aston Villa come from behind to take the lead. Cross. Thompson! Oh, I say, this is some game. It's 2-2. Villa's defenders arguing among themselves as Albion congratulate Gary Thompson. And also Nicky Cross, who got the ball in from the right-hand side. Thompson jumping at the near post area and flicking his header majestically into the net. Inquests in the Villa ranks, but within 2 minutes of going behind, Albion are level again. And what a fine first half the fans have got here now in terms of entertainment. Little bit of pushing off the ball there between the two number 11s, but symptomatic of the urgency with which both teams are playing. For the moment, attackers very much in the ascendancy, and corners being conceded as a way out. And on the first day of the season, who's complaining about that? Oh, and with Shaw. Where's it all going to stop? Gary Shaw for Aston Villa makes it 3-2. Peter With causing unrest inside the area from the corner, and Shaw pouncing to score what for him was a typical goal. So last season's top scorer with 24 goals for Aston Villa, Gary Shaw, puts them in front at 3-2 with 3 minutes still remaining in the first half. There goes Gary Owen. Waters with many attacks dangerous at the moment. Kirbishley unable to find Williams, but Villa Park buzzing with 5 goals to talk about in the first half. It's not over yet. That was Nicky Cross to Zondervan, who started it all off, and he's got Regis going through for Albion. What a fine save by Spink. And Regis has got the ball back. And he scored! Amazing! After the goalkeeper had done so well, Villa made a mess of it, and Cyril Regis retrieved the ball and promptly made the score 3-3. Well, I've been commentating for Match of the Day for 12 years. I can't recall a first half when I've seen 6 goals, 3 to each side. It's just the start that the season, never mind the fans at Villa Park, required from 2 of our top clubs. Not sure the defenders will agree with my sentiments, or indeed the managers, but on the other hand, if it's going to end 3-3, it's a lot better than ending 0-0. The first half. Well, what a first half. Albion were in front at 1-0, Villa at 2-1, then 2-2, Tony Barton's side ahead again at 3-2, and almost before he and the fans could draw breath, it was 3-3. So Albion start the second half. And no doubt the sentiments of the crowd very much akin to mine. Can we possibly see second 45 minutes like the first? Cross. The feet are flying now, they really are. Oh, and my word. Joel has been caught by McMahon. But after all that, it was Zondervan who had the worst injury and who is being helped off. And we're going to see 18-year-old Gary Robson, who is the youngest in the Brian Robson family. There are 3 of them from County Durham. Gibson on the chase. And with Albion now making up the numbers by bringing on their substitute, Gary Robson, just 18. He came on as sub in the final 2 matches last season. The youngest brother of Manchester United and England captain Brian Robson. And a corner to Villa. Ormsby up. Was it handball by Thompson? Oh, and Peter With appeals and then pushes Thompson in the back. Kirbishley feeding the ball in. Cross. And onside, this is the substitute, Robson, just come on. Laid it back for Owen. Oh, blocked. Almost on the line. Alan Evans, I think. Here's Mortimer for Villa. Gibson. Williams cross. And the ricochet finds Shaw. With. Oh, he's got his arms round the neck of Alan Webb, and one way or another, it's getting quite physical. Ormsby! And it's his first ever goal for Aston Villa, Brendan Ormsby. And what a day to choose when he's brought in to replace the departed Ken McNaught. He comes in with the header to put his side ahead by 4-3. Well, if I'm not mistaken, this is the third time Villa have been in the lead. They went ahead 2-1, 3-2, and now 4-3, courtesy of Brendan Ormsby, who didn't even play a league game last season. Stoppage time now. Is it too late for Albion, who started so well? Can they finish in style? Regis. Oh, they might. This is Martin Jol. Good save, and Robson. Oh, what a chance for the Dutchman there to make it 4-4. Martin Jol was clean through and failed to make the most of the chance. Kirbishley to Walters. Now McMahon, who can find Williams on the right. In for Gary Shaw. Bennett wasn't tight. It was the second time he conceded the corner. Played short to Shaw. Mortimer. Back now to Kirbishley. With, and it came off Ken McNaught for a corner again. Joe. And Albion will have to be quick now. Robson. So Aston Villa start the season with a win. And Brendan Ormsby, coming into the side after the sale of Ken McNaught to the Albion, scores the winning goal. His first in league football, and for these supporters, a day to remember. 7 goals, an abundance of incident. When Albion look back, they might say in a sober moment that they were without 3 first-choice defenders, and they also missed a great chance to make it 4-4. But surely some snappy headline writer will call this opening day a thriller at the Villa.
It was too. Villa and Albion giving us the sort of sensational start to the season we were all hoping for. And our thanks to those concerned. Well, it now falls to Manchester United and Queen's Park Rangers to follow that. And I reckon the 49,000 people who saw them this afternoon paying over £100,000, all of which the home teams keep this season, were more than satisfied. Your commentator, Alan Parry.
Is this the team which could end Liverpool's domination of English football? Manchester United start the season parading the FA Cup and Charity Shield, and with many observers predicting that they'll win the Championship for the first time since 1967. Well, if they do, it's no more than these loyal fans deserve. For the past 11 seasons, United have been the best supported club in Britain, with crowds averaging between 41 and 55,000. The team they've come to see today is the same side which beat Liverpool at Wembley last week, so Ray Wilkins stays in with the promise from manager Ron Atkinson that if he continues to produce his Wembley form, Wilkins will keep his place. Lou Macari gets the substitute's job in preference to Remy Moses. Queen's Park Rangers couldn't have had a more difficult start after winning promotion. This is the kind of opposition and atmosphere that this young and fairly inexperienced side must learn to cope with in the First Division. Well, Rangers have also had to cope with injuries and suspensions. Terry Fenwick and Steve Wicks are among those not available, and with new signing Mike Fillery not yet attuned to the Rangers style, he's named as substitute. Atkinson takes his seat, surely among the most hopeful of managers on this opening day of a new season. So United in red, Queen's Park Rangers in the blue and white hoops. The pitch is perfectly green, an ideal setting for a season that starts with real optimism on this ground at least, and a season that started with a bang, literally, for Simon Steinrod. And a little word in the ear of the aggressor, Gordon McQueen. So Rangers, who pride themselves on their ability from free kicks, have a very early opportunity to show First Division crowds and defenders what they can produce. A lot of movement by Queen's Park Rangers here. Teed up for Flanagan, and a goal kick, the outcome. Stapleton, difficult bounce, didn't know where it was, but Micklewhite did. Warren Neal for Queen's Park Rangers. Easy for McQueen. Muren under pressure here. Albiston got a touch on, and that's a Rangers throw. Roeder turned it forward, straight to McQueen though. Here's Stapleton, what a lovely through ball. Whiteside is onside, Stapleton's up with him as well. Well, Norman Whiteside, by his own admission, isn't as sharp at the moment as he was last season. But how well he took up the position to receive that fine through ball from Frank Stapleton. It really was beautifully judged by the number 9. Whiteside onside, took it on, thought about feeding it back to Stapleton, but in the end pulled his shot wide. It's a United throw. Awkward bouncing ball, dealt with well by Whiteside. Stapleton. And is that a penalty? It must have been mighty close. Duxbury takes the return ball superbly. Hucker's done well, and is that a penalty? Yes, this time it is. Well, Jeff Bray, the referee, refused the first appeal by Manchester United, but not the second. Stapleton going down under that first tackle. United wanted a penalty then. The ball spun away. It was a lovely through ball by Robson to Duxbury, and as Hucker came out, he brought down the right back, and a penalty it is. And in the absence of the normal penalty taker, Steve Coppell, Arnold Muren, who scored once from the spot last season, has the opportunity to give Manchester United their first league goal, and does so. Minutes gone, and the Stretford end celebrate United's first goal in 83-84. Muren stroking the ball confidently with that trusted left foot, sending Hucker the wrong way. Manchester United 1, Queen's Park Rangers 0. Well, Rangers can have no real complaints, because I must say it seemed to me the initial challenge on Stapleton was worthy of a penalty. But justice sorted itself out pretty quickly as far as United were concerned. Here's Wilkins. Now it's a real test of this young Rangers side. The very start they didn't want. And one or two tackles coming in from Rangers players that haven't pleased the referee, this time from Bob Hazel. And he's really lecturing the number 5. Alverston's free kick. Hazel gets it clear. Robson. This is Muren. Oh, what a lovely piece of play. Alverston. Good clearance by Waddock. United buzzing. Muren forward. Roda. Perhaps had more time than he realised. McQueen. Waddock forward. Being chased here by Allen. This could be dangerous, but Duxbury's so quick. What an improved player Mike Duxbury is. Stapleton got up well. Right side with a layoff, but Gregory collects. Stainrod. Waddock. And this is Flanagan. Dawes doing well. Well, he'd done so well initially, but then thought that Flanagan was further up than he was. Now there's a space where Dawes should be. And Whiteside is instead. Graham with him. Wilkins. Duxbury in a good position here. 3 players in the centre for him. It goes towards Stapleton! What a superb goal by Frank Stapleton. 17 minutes gone and Manchester United go 2 ahead with a beauty. Great build-up by United. The ball pushed wide to Duxbury in the outside right position. The cross was perfect. Stapleton loves those. That's his first of the season. United second of the game. Manchester United 2, Queen's Park Rangers 0. And Rangers are finding their baptism in the first division. A very, very difficult one indeed. A long ball in towards Stainrod here. And that was rather unnecessary. Bailey was always clearly going to collect that ball, and he was off the ground when Stainrod challenged him. But nice to see a smile anyway. A perfect start for the team that many feel could be champions. Here's Graham. Well, real old Scottish-style winger's skills. Stapleton. Everybody wants that ball for United. Whiteside with a layoff that didn't do justice to the build-up. Picked on by Flanagan. Allen turning it down the line for Gregory. Interception by Duxbury. United trying to play their way out of danger. They haven't done so. Flanagan with a good cross. Stainrod with a header. Rangers' best effort so far. Good move down the left-hand side. Flanagan curling the cross in, and Stainrod with a little snap header on the near post, just wide. Stainrod. Well, the United faithful have turned out in force again here at Old Trafford and must be very pleased with the first half performance of their side. 2 goals in the first 17 minutes, a beautiful header by Frank Stapleton, and the penalty before that, converted confidently by Arnold Muren, have given them a 2-0 lead, and one which they richly deserve. Well, I know United pride themselves on their youth policy, but this is crazy. But a great moment for these two youngsters, one they'll remember forever. So United start the second half attacking their favourite Stretford end away to the left. And history not really on the side of Rangers reversing the trend of this game. They've played at Old Trafford 6 times before in the First Division and lost every one of them. United, incidentally, were unbeaten at home throughout the whole of last season. Muren winning the first challenge with Micklewhite. McQueen finding Graham, who finds Stapleton. Graham takes over. Right side in the box. Here's Wilkins. What a lovely little return ball, but offside. But Wilkins with the perfect wall pass to Graham. Though it wasn't that perfect, of course, because the receiver was offside. Muren takes it down. Alveston helps him. Dawes, chased by Parry. Found Gregory well. Now Hazel. Fillery. Allen, nice turn again, but McQueen did well. Now Robson, didn't see Waddock coming in. Graham, a good header. Muren. Graham on the chase. Parry in the box already, and Stapleton the far side is Stapleton! Well, he will not want to see that one again, I don't think. It was a great break by Arthur Graham down the left-hand side. A fine cross too, and Stapleton, who I've seen score from more difficult angles than that, lifted it over. Here's Allen. Gregory doing well. Here's Micklewhite, tackled by Alveston. Comes back to him though, and Allen is in space here, and has done well. Can he finish? Oh, it was agonisingly close for Clive Allen. Well, they really battled to win that one, did Queen's Park Rangers. Micklewhite doing well, threading it through. Allen took it on, beat the defender, struck it, and whereas his first shot had hit the post and gone in, this one went just wide. Not long to go now. Stapleton. Graham on the left. Stapleton lets it go. Muren! Oh, what a beauty! Arnold Muren. 3-1 to Manchester United with only seconds remaining. What a lovely goal. Stapleton setting it up. Came in, sent the ball, arrowing into the net. Hucker never had a hope. An early contender for one of the goals of the season, even at this ridiculously early stage. Manchester United 3, Queen's Park Rangers 1. A memorable goal by Arnie Muren. Struck with ferocious power, and Rangers' brave attempt to rescue a point is over. Duxbury, we're into injury time. Wilkins for Manchester United. Muren. 2 goals for him today. And it set the Stratford end singing that United are going to win the league. That's the final whistle. There's a long time to wait to see if United do win the league. And Terry Venables looks disappointed, but need not be by his side's second-half performance. United swamped Rangers in the first half, but how well Rangers came back at them, only to be killed off in the end by a quite magnificent goal from Arnold Muren. His second of the game. Stapleton got the other. Manchester United 3, Queen's Park Rangers 1. A very satisfying opening to the new season at Old Trafford.
And it was indeed. And from a footballing point of view, there was plenty to rejoice about elsewhere. And to tell us about it, here's Bob Wilson.
Well, this evening we've brought you 11 of the 37 goals scored in the First Division today, and that's 12 up on last year. Crowds were also better too in Division 1, mainly due to the arrival of Charlie Nicholas at Arsenal. Nearly 40,000 turned up at Highbury to see his league debut against Luton. He didn't score in Arsenal's 2-1 win, but the fans loved him. The gate was 50% up on last season's average, and today Charlie helped repay nearly 50,000 of his £750,000 transfer fee. Tony Woodcock and Brian McDermott scored the Arsenal goals, but manager Terry Neal enjoyed Nicholas's performance, saying, "You sense something might happen every time he gets the ball." On the subject of goal scorers, Keith Edwards of Sheffield United enjoyed the best start with all 4 against Gillingham. That was in the 3rd Division. In the 2nd Division, Kerry Dixon, Chelsea's expensive signing from Reading, scored twice in the 5-0 win over Derby, the day's biggest score. Trevor Christie scored the first hat-trick in Division 1 as Notts County thrashed promoted Leicester 4-0 at Filbert Street. There was another 4-0 victory in the First Division, West Ham beating Birmingham, with Tony Cottee getting their first 2 goals. Sadly, that match produced the only real crowd trouble, most of it away from the ground, but otherwise a highly encouraging first day for football. As for surprises, champions Liverpool found themselves a goal down in 1 minute 20 seconds at Molineux when Jeff Palmer gave New Boys Wolves the lead with a penalty. Ian Rush saved Liverpool a point in the second half. Tottenham, fancied by many for the title, came unstuck at Ipswich, where Eric Gates scored twice in a 3-1 win. But the biggest shock, undoubtedly, the 3-2 win by Coventry at Watford. Coventry, remember, virtually written off because they lost so many of their best players in the close season. An unhappy start for one player, Newcastle keeper Kevin Carr, who fractured his left arm in the 1-0 win at Leeds. Out of over 1,000 league players in action today, only 2 were sent off. Crystal Palace's Henry Houghton in the 2-0 home defeat by Manchester City. That result a great start for new City manager Billy McNeil, and Stockport striker Mike Quinn, who was dismissed for dissent. 2 off is really a hopeful statistic and a definite improvement on last season. There could be good news for some of you pools punters. 9 score draws and 5 no-score draws on the coupons, and the dividend forecast is good. Claim by telephone if you find yourself with 24 points. The 3-point numbers you want are 7, 10, 12, 16, 23, 34, 38, 42 and 47. Good luck.
Well, having hit such a jackpot ourselves, I wouldn't be surprised if someone on the programme hasn't won the pools too. Whether they have or not, it's been a smashing start to the season all round, and let's spread that good news far and wide and emphasise it 11 times over. See you next week. Good night.
Oh, and Kloss was in there, and so too was Zondervan. Mortimer to Gibson. Oh, and Alan Evans was there.
Armand Buren has the opportunity to give Manchester United their first league goal, and does so.
And Shaw shakes off McNaught and finds Walters, who turned well. Oh, it's gone straight through Barron. Cross. Thompson. Oh, I say, this is some game.
Duxbury in a good position here. 3 players in the centre for him. It goes towards Stapleton.
Oh, and with Shaw. And Regis has got the ball back. And he scored. Amazing.
More movement from Rangers in this second half. People taking up more intelligent positions, like Allen here. What a good turn as well. And the shot. Oh, it's in! What a lovely goal by Clive Allen.
Ormsby.
Stapleton let it go. Buren!